Okay, today we're going to take a look at getting this nice new pistol ready for farm use. Some precision target work, maybe to run off some varmints, or just shooting holes in anything on the farm that might need a few extra holes. So, this is the Tisas RAIDER. I've already done a couple of reviews on this, an unboxing, and we'll call this episode number 345 and to continue rolling on. So the first thing I want you to know about is a mistake that I made. This is one that you can avoid, but I'm going to show you some improvements that we've made and improvements that I'm going to make. So let's get the box out of the picture and make sure that the pistol's clear. Go ahead and take this mag out of it. Check it for clear. We'll lock it to the rear like that and make sure it's clear. So, first thing that you'll notice is that barrel is threaded on the end. Let me zoom in here just a little bit. I'm going to zoom this baby in, and I want you to notice that there's something missing. This comes from the factory with a very nice little knurled knob on the end of that, and mine is missing. Okay, so here's the deal. Let's look at this a little bit closer. This gun comes with a threaded barrel. It is set up to be able to put a can on there. And I've got it right now set up with all the factory stuff on it. It has the factory barrel bushing. It has the factory plunger here that covers up your recoil spring. And it has a little bit of slack in it. Not a lot, but a little bit. It's in thousandths. I'm going to say it's about 8 thousandths is what I measured between the barrel and the bushing. And it has a cutout right here. If you look real close, they cut a little step right there. And that's where the O-ring used to fit. So yesterday, while I was out doing some farm work, I had the brown O-ring right there. And I had screwed this on and off several times. And I noticed that this brown O-ring, it was so small that as I screwed that bushing over it, the cover, the thread protector, it was getting up over the O-ring. It's supposed to kind of hold it in place. And one of the times when I went to unscrew the factory bushing or protection for the threads, as I was unscrewing that, it walked the O-ring off with it, and it cut the O-ring a little bit. So I thought, well, I'll just get rid of that and I'll get me a different O-ring later. Or I'll put some blue Loctite or something of that nature. Well, I screwed it back on and I had it in my holster, and I was working on the farm, and I had one of those kind of holsters that the gun sticks out, just a minimalist holster, kind of like a Yagi. And anyway, the bushing unscrewed itself. It just got bumped probably by sticks or whatever I was working on. I was building a fire, and it got bumped, vibrated, and it fell off out into the dirt. So that's the end of that. So now you know, either get a fatter O-ring or use some blue Loctite. I went ahead and ordered a better, higher quality bushing. I wanted a nice, pretty stainless steel one. So I got with a company called Hughes that builds those, and you'll get to see that soon. So we'll continue on. I will tell you, I wanted to go ahead and tighten this up. This is nothing wrong with these now. They have a good barrel bushing, a good plunger, but I just wanted to go the next notch. So here's what I do. I'll show you a little trick of the trade. For accuracy, it always helps to have a little bit tighter barrel bushing. Now, let's look at the one that I picked. This barrel bushing is made by EGW, and it is a thicker than normal. You can see that there. It's thicker than a normal barrel bushing. And that blue on my hand, that's from doing some machine work. But anyway, that is a little thicker than normal. And it is a very nice, high quality, and it's a little tighter. So here's what I do. This is the way I come up with this. Let's go ahead and I'm going to zoom this out a little bit so you can see my work. We're going to do some caliper work here. See if I can sit down and get relaxed for a minute. This is the way I go about it, and I think that you'll appreciate this. If you're wanting to make your gun a little more accurate, which I am, I'm wanting to get this ready for some laser work. precision laser work and also a green dot on the top. So here's what we do. Check the gun empty, make sure it's empty, and click. So it's empty, and we're gonna go ahead and pull this barrel bushing out. This is the factory barrel bushing. Get it out of the picture. Let's see, I'm gonna turn this around, make sure that you're getting to see this. Okay, so we'll take this factory barrel bushing out. Get it out of the picture. And then what I'm gonna do is rack this to the rear a little bit and get a measurement. That's the first thing we want to do. I want to see how big this barrel is. So this is the way I do it, and I think you'll like this. I think it'll work good for you too. Get you a measurement and measure that barrel several different places. See if you can get a good accurate measurement. Alright, so I'm going to call this, this is a little bit tedious, but it's worth the time, 576. So 576, then what I do is I'll dial in 576 on my calipers. This is a little bit tedious, but it's worth it. 576, try to get it exact. 576, and then I zero that. So I make that my standard. That's my barrel, is that size now, 0. So then I take the factory barrel bushing. You can see that here. Hopefully you can see that there. Take the factory barrel bushing and measure and see what the difference is between the barrel. I've got my barrel number in there, and see what I got for a difference. All right, I'm gonna do side to side first. Side to side, and maybe upside down on the numbers. But I believe we got about 6.5 there, something like that. 7. So you can see that. That may be upside down, like I say, on the number, but that's okay. You can see it, 7. Now I'm gonna do up and down, because a lot of times barrel bushings will have kind of a teardrop shape. They'll be elongated a little bit. And sure enough it is. And there you can see it'll be upside down, but I think an upside down 8 will read pretty good either way. So now I am looking at the number 0.008. I hope you can see that there. So that's my tolerance, and that's not bad. But you know, for a fighting pistol, that would be an okay barrel bushing. That's fine. But I'm going to try to take this to the next step from what I'll call a fighting gun, and I'm going to try to turn it into a farm target gun. All right. So this is the factory barrel bushing that came with the Tisas RAIDER. It's stainless steel. You can see by the thickness on the edge, it's a little thinner than what I'm gonna put in there. So now let's take, this is the EGW bushing, which I bought, and you may have to modify this. It's called a drop-in, but sometimes they will have to be modified slightly. This is thicker than normal, than the factory one that came on it, a little thicker than, but it's a very high quality, and it's high polished stainless steel bushing, okay? So you can see that. So now let's get a measurement on this one. We'll do the side to side first. Here we go. Watch closely. Here comes our side to side, and remember, I've got this zeroed for my barrel. So this represents the size of the barrel. Anything bigger than that is going to be the actual tolerance that we're looking for. The other one had about 7 side to side. Let's see what this one has. I'll show it to you here in a minute. And there's the tolerance on the EGW. So it's not 7 side to side, it is 5 thousandths. So I've already dropped 2 thousandths, that's a thousandths per side. And then we had up and down was 8. And the tolerance on this one, I'm hoping it's less than 8. Look at that. The tolerance on this one, EGW, is a tolerance of 004. So we have cut the tolerance in half, but there's still enough movement for our Browning tilting barrel mechanism to work. Now the other thing on this is the body of this. Now I'm not going to measure this for the sake of time and a little bit tedious, but know this is definitely a little bit bigger where this fits into the slide. So when you go into the slide, this has a little bit more meat. In this case, the little locking lug on these sometimes will be so large that it won't let you easily turn and lock that. You may have to take a file and file that down just a little bit. Even the width of it, you may have to do a little trimming. So I've already got that done. So the first thing that I noticed when you put this bushing on the gun is it is definitely tighter. Okay, so I go to put it in there. See if you can see this like that, and slide it down in there and go slow, and it drops in okay. There's no problem with that. And we're going to go ahead and rotate around. I can tell you this is definitely tighter. Coming around slow and get this close enough where you can see it. Turn it around slow. Now let's go ahead and get this the new plunger cap. Now this one is a high polished stainless. You can see the tip of that there, and I can hit that with some 2000 grit and make that real nice and shiny. It's stainless. It's a little bit shorter than the factory one. You can see that here. The factory one is the long guy, and the EGW is a little bit shorter. No problem. So we're going to go ahead and put this in place. This is where I have to be very careful. I'm going to pull this away from you so I don't hit you in the eye with it. So we have cut our tolerance in half. And the other thing too, on top of that, let's see if you can see this now. I'm going to get it right where you can see it good. See, that is really a tight tolerance. The way that they did that barrel bushing is there's no slack this way either, back and forth. The plunger itself is just a little bit shorter than the barrel bushing, but you can see that barrel bushing is very nice and thick. See how thick it is? Very thick on the sides here, and then that's going to leave me enough room for my O-ring. And when I get the O-ring in there and then get the new protector on there, it's going to be stainless, so it'll make all this look like it matches better. I think I'm going to like it better. Now I'm going to expand this out just a little bit and tell you this. Here's another thing you can do to check to see if you've really gained anything, and that's grab your barrel. Make sure your gun is unloaded, of course. Grab your barrel and move back and forth and see if you can notice any movement. And I cannot notice that movement now because I was 8,000s, I could feel it. And then you can grab your bushing and feel it. This bushing is tighter in the slide, a lot tighter than what the other one was. Didn't measure the difference there, I'm just going by feel. But that is in thousandths of an inch, and that turns into inches on a target at 25 yards and 50 yards. You'll really see the difference. So I'm kind of excited about that. It's a small change, but it is one that's worth doing. So let's lay this down here. I'm going to put the factory parts back in the box so I don't lose them. I like to keep up with those. EGW makes some very good parts. Evolution Gunworks. I don't work for them, but they have always been good to me and sold me some good parts that I'm real happy with through the years. So that takes care of that. We're going to zoom in so you can see that gun real good. And I want to talk about what we did for reliability. We talked about this yesterday a little bit, and that is this Goldilocks. This Goldilocks tool right here. I'm going to zoom in where you can see that really good. The Goldilocks tool is what I use to tune the extractors on my gun. Now I had one customer said, "Oh, you didn't show us, you didn't show us." And he didn't realize that if you will go to the description portion that I have on this, I give you exactly what to do. I'll give you a link that gives you a professional class. It's a 1-hour class on how to use this Goldilocks tool. This is something I invented years ago. It is a piece of 45 caliber brass that has been fired in this gun. You drill a hole in it, take a piece of, I worked in the oil field, this is some stainless steel safety wire, plug it through the hole and drive it all the way up through, put a little dog knot on the end of it, just fold it over a little bit where you can't pull the wire back out of the brass. Once you get this little tool built, you take the slide off the gun and you slide this up underneath the extractor claw. Then you hook your trigger gauge in this loop right here, whatever brand you've got. I just use a Wheeler. It's real easy to read. And then you make your pull. You pull and pull and pull and see how much tension shows up on your trigger gauge to make this piece of brass drag out from underneath your extractor claw. This factory gun had 4 pounds, and that is too much. That means you're going to have problems with feeding somewhere down the road. Some people like to shoot them forever, try to break them in, and I don't do that. I don't have that kind of money for bullets. Even though I'm doing reloads, I still don't want to waste that many bullets trying to break a gun in. So I tune the extractor for a set value of 1.5 pounds. And that on a 1911 is what I call just right. You hear those two words, just right, just right. The only time you've ever heard that is if you read the little story about Goldilocks and the 3 bears. She ate some of the porridge and it was too hot. She ate another batch and it was too cold. And she ate another batch and it was just right. She tried the beds and the Papa Bear's bed was too hard. Mama's bear's bed was too soft. And she went to the baby bear's bed, lay down in it, and it was just right. That was Goldilocks. She was the one trying out all their stuff while they were out waiting on their porridge to cool. So that's how they got the name of this Just Right tool. The people that resist this, they're missing out on some good knowledge. They don't realize, they say, well, that's just a simple thing. Yeah, but that simple thing is the exact dimensions that your live round is going to be sitting underneath your extractor claw. So in the description on this video, look for a link. I have a link that's a hot link. In other words, all you got to do is look for the little arrow on it, click it, and it will jump you right into a master tuning course on the 1911's extractor claw. I go through 3 different guns, lay it out on the table. I show you how to set this up, how to make the measurements, how to bend the extractor. Very easy. Anybody can do this. Use a ball peen hammer and 2 little pieces of 2x4, and you lay that extractor claw over those 2x4 pieces and give it a little tap. And then it's trial and error. It is what's called empirical analysis. You knock some of the curve out if it's too tight, or you put a little more curve in if you need some more tension. And it's not hard to do. In my case, I was very lucky on mine. I laid it out there, got the curve facing the way I want. I gave it a little thump, and I could tell when I went to put the extractor claw back in the gun, it was already a little bit looser. It didn't have as much bow. You could feel it. And first measurement out of the gates was right at 1.5, 1.6 pounds. By the time it breaks in just a little bit, it'll be absolutely perfect. So I've had no problems with this gun. This gun has been already proven itself to be very reliable. So we went from reliability. I also tuned the trigger. The trigger was 5 pounds. That was easy. Took a little leaf spring, a little sear spring out, make a few little bends on it. Not modifications, but adjustments. And adjusted my sear spring, which is located right here in the back strap. It's easy to get to. Just drive this 1 pin out right there, pull the mainspring housing off, and your leaf spring comes out. You do have to take this apart and some other things. Plenty of videos on how to do that. Once you get this little sear spring out, you make your adjustments, put it back in, and now instead of having a 5 pound trigger, guess what my trigger weight is now? Now it is 2.75, right a touch under 3 pounds. And boy, I'm telling you, I am very proud of Tisas for how clean they're able to make these triggers. This is a lot cleaner than my Colt Gold Cup. I got a brand new Colt Gold Cup trophy, and this trigger is a lot cleaner. I mean, it's like just a super clean brake, man. I love it. So now it's right at 2.75. That is not a good weight for carry, but farm target for laser use and green dot on the top, which is coming soon, that will really help me with my overall accuracy. So good clean trigger. Extractor claw. Say, where's the extractor claw at? It is located in the slide, and it is located right here. I hope you can see that. It's a little, looks like the tip of a crab claw, a little black claw shaped like that. It's located right there, and when that round comes up underneath there in the magazine, it loads that clean brand new round, slides underneath that claw. So you don't want that to be too tight. One of the reasons that people have problem with reliability on 1911 is they don't take the time to tune the extractor claw. If you'll do that, that'll get rid of a lot of your feed issues. If you've got a good magazine, you're shooting ball ammo, there's no reason at all for you to have problems with that gun. It should function and shoot just fine. So I hope that this was interesting to you. I hope that you'll consider, if you're wanting to upgrade your accuracy and go from, let's say you had some 3-inch groups at 25 yards and you want to knock 1 inch of them off and get it down to 2-inch, or maybe you had 2-inch groups and now you'd like to see 1.5 inch. That barrel bushing can make the difference. These come with very good quality barrels. They're throated, they're ramped, they're chrome coated inside and out, and I'm very happy with this gun. I have not had to really modify anything other than that barrel bushing and the little spring plunger on the tip of it. I went with EGW on that, and I do have a new thread protector on the way. So the next video, you'll get to see that thread protector go on, a new O-ring, and also we will be putting the laser on right here and then shooting it for a group. We're going to see how tight of a group we can shoot with some of my hand loads. So hope you enjoyed it today. Please tap that like and subscribe, and go into description and look for that simple little, it'll be a picture of a YouTube video with a little arrow. All you got to do is tap it and it will take you right into how to use this very nice Goldilocks tool to tune the extractor claw on your gun. And it's as good as any of them out there. It goes into great detail. And use a whiteboard. I use a Navy style instructor. That's what I was for years and years. I was an instructor in the Navy. I taught advanced electronics. But now you can take advantage of that same teaching technique on your 1911, how to tune an extractor. So thanks again for listening. Over and out for now.